Hello! Not a super long video today. I'm just looking at the chapter Grim Defeat, and that's because the Marauders map is next, and I get the feeling that's going to be a longer video just by itself. So today we get Quidditch, and this chapter, the way it's set up, has actually sort of clarified for me why we've got such emphasis by the students for Quidditch. We've got Oliver, who is just freaking out. We've got Harry, who quite directly insists that he wants to keep going, even when people are like, Sirius Black's after you, and we know he's in the school. Like, we're able to go from this night where everyone has to sleep in the Great Hall, because that is how serious this threat is, to a Quidditch game in a thunderstorm. But Rowling is smart about this, because she actually places this Snape as Defense Against the Dark Arts substitute scene in between these moments. And suddenly it became clear to me. Again, a super hard chapter in regards to Snape to read, because this one, even more than every other chapter so far with Snape, has just given me skin-crawling flashbacks to this particular prof that I had to deal with. Because it's true with Snape. Either you've got the wrong answer, or you're not meant to answer at all. And if you try, you're going to get in trouble. Which is exactly what we're seeing Snape doing here. Hermione knows the answer, she tries to answer, and Snape's like, shut the hell up. Okay, you're gonna yell at the rest of us for not knowing this answer, and then you're gonna yell at the person who does know the answer. Because you don't want the answer right now. You just want to prove that we're all incompetent. But why does Snape then... What does Snape really have anything to do with this Quidditch match in a thunderstorm? Particularly since this Slytherin's chicken out on it. And they end up playing the Hufflepuffs. It's because it suddenly becomes really apparent for all these kids playing Quidditch that this is like the one thing they can control in their lives. There's some terrifying serial murderer running around the school. And none of the profs are telling them much of anything. Great. Cool. Oh look, we've got a prof that is replacing one we actually happen to like. Who's purposely being an asshole. And calling us stupid. Great. Cool. Yeah, so classes don't matter. Because we've got, he might only be like the one prof out of all of them, but that's still going to affect you. Why am I going to care about house points when we've got Snape coming in? Sure, Harry shouldn't have been late, yeah, but we've seen Snape. He takes points off the Gryffindors for absolutely anything. Okay, so suddenly the House Cup doesn't matter because Snape is an asshole. And he's prejudiced. And he shouldn't be teaching. So suddenly these kids don't have anything else that they can control in their lives. Like, they're running scared, and somebody they should be able to trust and respect is downright insulting towards them. Like, they tell him very directly where they are in the class. Now, Lupin's just unorganized. We're gonna do werewolves. But we haven't gotten that far. It doesn't matter, you should already know this shit. No, we shouldn't. No, they shouldn't. So suddenly, Quidditch becomes the outlet for them. Quidditch becomes the place that they can control their own broom and control the balls, and they can control that situation, and they're willing to fight a thunderstorm to do it. Slytherins don't have to do that. Slytherins don't need that type of control because the most prejudiced professor in the school is biased in their favor. So they're gonna sit under their umbrellas snickering when these kids are actually trying to get something that can be theirs. Like, that's all Oliver wants, is something that could be his by the end of it. That's why he's so serious. This is his last chance to get this Quidditch Cup. Because nothing else in this school is ever going to be theirs. But they could say, hey, Quidditch. That is Harry's concern when he wakes up. Like, Dementors. Yeah, but what happened to the match? Cedric doesn't want to win it that way because that's not their control anymore. Because the Dementors have come in and they lose that control. So Cedric's right. Cedric says, no. This isn't how I want it to go down. And everyone else says, yeah, but that's the way it is in the school. Which is heartbreaking. Especially when, of course, we end the chapter with Harry's loss of his broomstick. Because again, that is one of the first things that is his. It is the first thing that he proved he could do purely on his own. He could fly. He didn't need Hermione correcting his spell work. Heck, he didn't even need Ron giving him pointers. He didn't need anybody else. Draco was a catalyst, but it was Harry. It was Harry's heart that got him onto that broom. And it was Harry's skill that kept him on it. And he was rewarded for that. And again, that is one of the first direct rewards that gave him some sort of power. It wasn't just about the house. And some people might say, well, it's just about the house Quidditch team. No, it's not. Because McGonagall didn't get the rest of the team brooms. But she got Harry one. So what we're actually seeing here is not an odd sports moment when we should be focusing on all the serious things. No, we actually have a moment of the kids trying to regain some semblance of control in their lives. And having circumstances come in and say, but you don't get that. You don't get that. And I think, well, this chapter might seem to some people, again, that lighthearted sports break. It's actually a heartbreaking chapter. Because Quidditch for Harry has always been his freedom. And it's suddenly pulled into question. McGonagall tries to let him keep it. Because she warns him about Sirius. But she also allows Harry the thing that he wants, which is to be able to play Quidditch. And I respect McGonagall for that choice. Because we actually get a whole lot less time with McGonagall than we do with somebody like Snape. We get a whole lot of time just Snape being an asshole. But it only takes a few moments with McGonagall to know that she is trying as well as she can while remaining an authority figure and an attempt to be an impartial one. Because even Harry here recognizes that she really wants Gryffindor to win the Quidditch Cup at some point. But we're not seeing as direct a bias as someone like Snape. She's trying to let these kids have this control. So out of everyone we see in this chapter, McGonagall actually jumps out to me far more. And we see her for like 2 paragraphs. And that's why I love Rowling. Make me love a character with like 3 lines of dialogue. Snape, You can't keep doing this, man. Because even when we get some of your backstory, that's not gonna change everything we're seeing up to this point enough for me not to think that you shouldn't be teaching. But you also can't laugh off the Quidditch, because for these kids it's actually a very important aspect of their lives that is getting pulled away from them. And they're holding on with both hands. You even see that with Fred and George talking about how they could possibly still win this, and Wood attempting to drown himself in the showers. It means something to them. And I don't think we can just laugh it off. Quick note also with the movie representation of this scene. It's super weird because they do this weird little like grim silhouette in the clouds, which isn't actually what's happening in this scene. Harry's actually directly seeing Sirius in his form of the Grim standing on the top row. Like, Sirius is watching the Quidditch match, and that's what he means. He's seeing the silhouette against the sky because Sirius is, as his Grim form, is standing watching. So maybe that's why the Dementors came in the first place, but again, Harry's got more than one soul, so they're still like... And he's sort of like, ee. Okay, still can't clap. Snapping will have to do. I'm going to keep reading. Because, like I said, this next chapter I think is going to be one of the funnest to sort of try and get my teeth into. Because there's some questions, not just about this map, but the people wielding it. And the moral choices of that map and wielding it. And I'm super excited to get into that. So I'm going to keep reading until then, and I hope you do too. Bye!